Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today we're going to be listening to some music from Clair Obscur Expedition 33. The composer is at the bottom of the screen, Lorien Testard. I hope I pronounced that correct. This game, I am currently in the process of playing. I'm not really ready to talk about the game as a whole, but one thing I can talk about is the music, and today I wanted to take 3 of the battle themes. Now I'm going to make some people mad. The music for this game is very, very good. However, what tracks most people seem to like, a lot of the vocal stuff, isn't really my cup of tea, except for this particular track. Most of the best music, in my opinion, is the battle themes. These are all different battle themes, they're all very different, and I just kind of want to talk about them, dissect them a little bit. Like I said, this is one of the few ones that has vocals in it that I like. Most of the others just don't do anything for me. So, this is one of the very first areas of the game. It's called Go Blue. And it's just, well, let's just listen to it. Very, very clever, but very, very cool addition is that boom, 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 boom is a sonar sound. So this place takes place, as you can see, it says flying waters. You are underwater. You're in a battle. And while that's going on, you've got this sonar going off, basically. Now, this bit of music does have a non-battle version. It's a lot more calm. But the battle version adds that drumming. That beat. It starts off quite a simple piece of music. Nothing too crazy. Which, to be fair, as a battle theme, the fact that it builds and grows is great. So 40 seconds in, so that's your, and I think this applies when you're making a battle theme, is that you have that initial part of a battle theme before you really get the track going, because sometimes in some games, especially in RPGs and things like that, the battle can be over very quickly, so you don't want to almost blow your load too quick, so you get that build of the sonar, the drums, and a few of the interesting sounds going on, and now we get introduced to the vocals. And that particular section, I'll be honest, I assume they're singing in French, I don't actually know. But you have that melody line going la 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 la. And I want to say there's almost 3 vocals there, it might only be 2 people. But you have this it's like 1 or 2 notes. And it's very easy to follow. And then they sort of split. They're kind of singing harmonies and going up and down the scale, essentially, which differentiates the high part and the low part. And then you have this sort of thing come in to play the melody, like this synth. It's like a synth piano or something. Also notice the drums in the background, they've become sort of, I want to say the bongos are dun 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 dun. It's like adds a layer of rhythmic percussion to it. There's more than just the 4 to the floor beat that's going on. Then we have a section where it pulls things out. You get more vocals. The drums kind of drop out. You get the very, very, I've forgotten the term for the high, very, very high singing, not falsetto. I think it's a different one, but the high notes of the singing, very elongated. It's a very calm part of the track. Bear in mind this is a battle theme, so we've had a bit of a interesting thing with the sonar. We get a bit of vocals, then we get a bit of a melody. Now it kind of comes apart a little bit. We got something that's a bit more slower. Those vocals. It's building towards something, and we're about to find out what that is. You've you've almost got this do-do-do-do-do-do thing behind. I think it might be a harp. I want to say it's a harp, something like that behind it. It might not be specifically that instrument, but just subtle stuff's being very subtle right now. Right. Now this is your meat and potatoes of the track now. We've got multiple vocals, the drums have come back in. This is like, we've been in the fight, so this is what, 1 minute and 51 seconds in. This isn't a quick fight. So now we've got like the actual track coming together with a lot of full force. I think it's the combination of melodies there that really sells this track for me, because it's like the da-da, like in the background, da-da, with the whatever that is that they're saying over the top, which is a lot quicker. And so you've got these combination of melodies, right? And what I like about this as a battle theme is it is very different, but it's also like, while you're in the middle of the fight and you're playing the game, like this is just going on around you because it fits the setting. But it's so unique. You know, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the vocal stuff in this game. But while I'm in the fight, the fact that it builds, you get the vocals, and then if you're in the middle of the fight, that bit comes on. You've got this multiple melodies, there's multiple layers and textures. Also with the bow, 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 the sonar's still there. There's this weird, like, almost reverse, like, thing going on. There's so many cool elements from it. This track, to me, is wholly unique. I really like this. And obviously in the game it would loop, but this is sort of the end of it. It's one of the shorter battle themes, but I think it's just something about it that I love. And then it would loop there. One thing I will say, and through personal experience trying to do this, I think it's really hard to write underwater music or stuff that sounds like, because that could also work for like an ice cave or caves in general. I think underwater and things like that, there's very specific instruments. The sonar sound sells it. The weird reverse stuff also sells it because it's such a bizarre area that you're in. I love it. I genuinely think, and this plays very early on in the game, this is like the second area you get to, I genuinely think this is where the game starts. Everything up before this, right, is fine, but when you get to this area, the look of it, the sounds, the music, everything comes together beautifully, and this just such a unique piece of music. Phenomenal. Like I said, the vocals here, simple, easy to follow, but lovely harmonies, and it works really well together. So for me, absolutely like top tier, like battle theme. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Each of these themes is very different from the last, so we'll get to see the variety of the music in this game. So yeah, let's move to the next track. Alrighty, so next up we've got Gestural. Yeah, it's Gestural. I've never Gestural Summer Party. This doesn't even sound like a battle theme to me. I'm glad it is. Like I said, I got to this area. This is not that far on from the area that you're in, and you come across these guys called Gestrals, and they're a bit weird, and it's kind of cool. But this battle theme is just a generic battle theme that you get when you run into them. Phenomenal. Let's give it a listen. Already, very different. 20 seconds in, we've got a beat. We've got the weird, like, wind chimey sound that happens at the beginning. We've got some very nice, very simple to follow strings that are just going la, 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 la. You know, I almost feel like the start of the battle themes are super important, because when I heard this, I'm just like, what? Like, as we're about to find out, it's a bizarre track. and we've got that like weird reverse sound going on there. I would say this track's got this like element of like tribal to it. It also gives me like Africa vibes, like not intentionally, that's where my brain goes when I hear this. It's like the weird chimes. I think there's like a xylophone in this. There's like it's just got this like, it's a very uplifting track, but it's, I don't know, something haunting about it as well, like all the reverse stuff. And then the melody comes in. I guess you call that the melody. First off, I have no idea what instrument that is. Secondly, if we just go back a little bit, the drums become this bum, bum, bum. I don't know if it's a timpani, it might be, but we get that. That's where the tribalness comes from, where that forced sort of boom, 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 very rhythmic track. I'd love to know what that main instrument is. Then we get the build, got the claps. And out of nowhere, a piano, the most normal sounding thing in the entire track, takes over for this section. And then there's like violins and oboes, violins and violas and cellos and things coming in there, playing the string section. Again, very haunting. This is like level of like uneasiness about this track. And then it almost like breaks through back to like the, oh, everything's happy. It's like the calm before the storm part of the battle track. Right. Now this is going to seem quite weird. This particular part of the track, which is just so odd, I don't know why, it's giving me Donkey Kong Country vibes. Specifically Donkey Kong Country 2 vibes. Or Tropical Freeze. And back into the main part. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. So all in all, it's a 4-chord song, right? I love it. It's so, again, so unique. There's a lot of layering in this piece of music, which is what gives it the sound that's so big. And then you have that weird over the top as like a very like central point of the track. Something else coming in now? I love how much of a dance track it kind of is. It's hard to hear. There's this bop 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 bop, and it almost sounds like someone slapping the drain pipes that you'd hear. Wind chime things. I don't know what it is. It's like, there must be the weird tracks that I keep picking up on, because this really, a couple of these I heard, or this one, I think I heard both of these tracks before I played the game, and now I've heard them in context as well, and I love them. I think they're phenomenal. I just think like when you get into battle in any of these areas, the fact that the music is so different from one another, just very impressive. I really like I said, there's like a tribalness to it, there's like a hauntingness to it, there's an interesting choice of instruments, there's some stuff there, I have no idea what they're using to create those sounds. And props up to Lorien, because this isn't a composer I've ever heard before. I've never heard of this guy before, and to come out with this game and this game to be as good as it is already, and for the soundtrack, for me, to be the standout part of it for the most part. Like, again, I don't like everything in this game music-wise. It's not all like this, but the weirder tracks, the variety tracks, they're the ones that really stick with me. And like I said, the battle ones are just phenomenal. Right, so we got one more track to go to, so let's flip on over to that one. Alright, final track, and I think, to be honest, most people probably knew this was coming. This is Monoko's theme. I haven't got there in the game yet. This is probably my most listened to piece of music this year from a video game. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think there's anything else in the game that stands as close to this. Like, I love those other tracks, but this is just on a whole nother level in terms of flavor, in terms of coolness, in terms of catchability. Like, there's so much about this track. I assume everyone's probably heard it, but let's get it. Let's just break this track down. Now, that bow wow wow. Now, apparently, and I don't know how true this is, they have a dog in their studio who was called Monoko, and that's what the bow wow wow thing is for. So if we go back, if you actually listen to that, that's definitely like a voice box, someone going bow wow wow. Possibly the most, like, if you heard that, this is so bizarre. This build up, that bow wow wow, and then you hear the saxophone going whoa, 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 and then we get the melody, and this is why this track is so good. Right. Something that's really important about music in general, and you get this a lot with 8-bit music and stuff like that, is you need the melody to be easy to follow. It doesn't have to be an easy melody to play, it just needs to be easy to follow. Why does it work so well here? Well, one, you got a saxophone, which is a unique instrument in its own. Saxophone has a very nice sound, has a very powerful sound. And what do we get? The melody goes doo doo. There's repetition there. So if we listen to it again, we go back to the what the saxophone is playing. Again, not saying it's easy, but it's easy to follow. So listen to every time the track goes doo-doo, because it resets to that point. That's your point. So you go doo-doo, and then each part after that is a slight variation. But listen to how every time he returns to the ba-da after the first one, how like it's just like there's like a sort of energy push on it. That one specifically. Not to mention, behind the saxophone the entire time is somebody playing an electric piano going. This is a very jazz track, but it's jazz with a lot of energy behind it, right? And there's if you can remove, which we'll see hopefully in a bit, like if you remove the saxophone, the music's doing some wild stuff. So we'll go back one more time, and let's try and see if you can hear what's going on behind the saxophone. Right, again, keeping with the melody, right? So we've already got the ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba, and then we get a change, but it's not that drastically different. This is why I forever am humming this piece of music, because the melody is so simple to follow. Anybody can go do 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 and basically repeat that, you know. And I think that's why, because it's in blocks of 4. So you have the ba-da, ba-ba-da in one 4, then you have the ba-ba-ba-ba. There's nothing. The saxophone at this point is not straying too far from playing similar parts and repetition. But because it's got this bonkers piece of music behind it, the saxophone really punches through. And for the player, when you're like, obviously when you're doing the fight, that's already one thing. This is so different to anything else in the game. Right? Again, all the battle themes are. But you got this powerful, powerful instrument in the saxophone punching through the music. Right? Now, I assume when you get to the fight, this loops quite a lot, because I imagine it's quite a tough fight. But it's so simple in structure. That's not, again, not to say that what they're being played is simple, but so simple in structure to follow. It just gets stuck in your head. And you have this bit, there's like a little breakdown. And now we get the keyboards. Just wow. Like, honestly, the saxophone's about to come back in, and it comes in with the most ripping note. But like, I just want to appreciate this. It's phenomenal. And I get the saxophone ready. Does that not scream like it's like sexy and cool, and like it's just that again simpleness of that wah, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's just, I think this is why when people talk about the music of this game, different things hit different people. But to have such a phenomenal just vibe, the vibe on this is just incredible. And this is the chill part of the track, right? We're about to go back into the nuts bit. That ready? So good. Builds back up again. A little more of a breakdown again. It's such a smooth feeling. The whole track has got this just smoothness to it. I love it. I assume it loops. I say this now. I challenge anybody to play me a piece of music from any game this year. And this is coming from someone who absolutely loves DK Banana's soundtrack, who loves Mario Kart World soundtrack. Overall, I think Mario Kart World soundtrack is the best one this year. Right? But to find a song that is on this caliber, this is easily a top 10 piece of video game music for me. Like I said, I've never heard of Lorian. I need to go and check out, see if he's done any other music. He has put this in what I consider to be a modern masterpiece. This track is up there with the likes of the original Mario tune, with the likes of Green Hill Zone, with the likes of, you know, all the old classics. This is just so impeccable. Like, talk about nailing it. I know in the game as well, there's sections of the track depending on how you're fighting Minoko. But like, to put together this particular version of this track, and like, I was blown away. Nothing like, you can have your vocal tracks in this game. They do not come close to this. This is such a phenomenal masterpiece. If this game wins at the end of the year, like soundtrack of the year, I will not be upset. Right? I want it to be because of the battle themes. I want it to be because of the stuff that's unique, not so much the vocal parts, personally. But all of the music is very well put together. There's a lot of variety here. But like, I mean, character theme-wise, I can't think of a better one right now. I think Minoko's theme, compared to every other character that I've heard, this is just leagues above them, and nothing is going to ever top this for me in this game, for this track. I could gush about this all day. I love it. I think it's incredible. I hope that this video, if nothing else, just goes to show, like, I mean, people have probably been talking about the music, this particular track, for a long time, since February, March time, and with good reason. I hope that people enjoyed just watching me gush about this stuff. Two, go and listen to this soundtrack. Go and pick out your favorites. This is a very, 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 very stellar soundtrack. Not everything is a hit for me, but overall it's a very well put together soundtrack. Lorien Testard, you've outdone yourself, man. Wow. From someone I've never heard of to possibly one of my favorite tracks of all time, like, fair play. Anyway, that's going to do it for me today then, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, then hit subscribe. And until next video, I will see you then.